Hello guys and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to share something different with you. I am sharing my school science project. It is about structure of atoms. Did you guys know that atomic structure was given by Niels Bohr in the year 1922, almost a century ago? Oh my god. Talking about the subatomic particles, that is protons, neutrons and electrons, which we have learned in our lower classes. Remember, protons positively charged, neutrons neutral or no charge, electrons negatively charged. These protons and neutrons are embedded in the nucleus, that is in the center of the atom, whereas electrons move in a circular orbit or imaginary orbits outside the nucleus. Positive charge cancels with a negative charge. So, an atom as a whole is electrically neutral. Do you guys remember atomic mass number denoted by capital A? Right. That is protons plus neutrons, nucleons. Whereas atomic number denoted by capital Z. Right. That is total number of electrons. So with all this basic revision, let me now introduce you with my project's topic, atomic structure. I am just gonna deal with first 10 elements. According to the modern periodic table, elements are arranged according to their atomic number, that is number of electrons present in an atom. So my first element here is hydrogen. It is only the one element without neutron. It has just one proton in the nucleus and one electron rotating around the K shell or the first shell. So this is my hydrogen model with K shell. The second element is helium. It has two protons and two neutrons in the nucleus and two electrons rotating around it, again in the K shell. So this is my helium model and again two electrons rotating in the K shell. The third element I have here is lithium. It has 3 protons and 3 neutrons in the nucleus and total it has 3 electrons. But do you remember the capacity of K shell? 2 electrons. So now the third electron will enter into the L shell whose capacity is 8 electrons. So this is my lithium model and here I have 2 electrons in the K shell and 1 electron in the L shell. The fourth element I have here is beryllium. It has 4 protons plus 4 neutrons in the nucleus and 4 electrons. Now you have guessed it right. 2 electrons in the K shell and 2 electrons in the L shell. We can say in this case L shell is the outermost shell or orbit. So these 2 electrons will be called as valence electrons. This is my beryllium model which has 2 electrons in the K shell and 2 electrons in the L shell. The fifth element I have here is boron. It has 5 protons and 5 neutrons in the nucleus and 5 electrons, yes, in the K shell 2 and 3 in the L shell. And 3 is the valence electrons. So this is my boron model and here I have 2 electrons in the K shell and 3 electrons in the L shell. So the sixth element is carbon. It has 6 protons plus 6 neutrons in the nucleus and total 6 electrons, 2 in the K shell and 4 in the L shell. And here 4 is the valence electrons. So this is my carbon model and here I have 2 in the K shell and 4 electrons in the L shell. The seventh element here is nitrogen. It has 7 protons plus 7 neutrons in the nucleus and total 7 electrons. 2 in the K shell and 5 is in the L shell. So valence electrons. But valency will be 3 because 8 is the capacity of L shell and it requires 8 electrons to complete its octet. So valency will be 8 minus 5, that is 3. So this is my nitrogen model. Here I have 2 electrons in the K shell and 5 electrons in the L shell. The 8th element is oxygen. It has 8 protons plus 8 neutrons in the nucleus and total 8 electrons, 2 in the K shell and 6 in the L shell. So valency will be 8 minus 6, that is 2. So this is my oxygen model, which has 2 electrons in the K shell and 6 electrons in the L shell. The 9th element here is fluorine. It has 9 protons plus 9 neutrons in the nucleus and total 9 electrons, 2 in the K shell and 7 in the L shell. So its valency will be 1, that is 8 minus 7. So this is my fluorine model. Here I have 2 electrons in the K shell and 7 electrons in the L shell. The 10th and the last element I have here is neon. It has 10 protons plus 10 neutrons in the nucleus and total 10 electrons, 2 in the K shell and 8 in the L shell. So its valency is 0. Yes, you heard it right. 8 minus 8 is 0. Here neon and helium are called invert gases or noble gases as they complete their octet, so do not take part in any chemical reactions normally. So this is my neon model. It has 2 electrons in the K shell and 8 electrons in the L shell. So it does not take in chemical reactions part normally. Next is covalent bond. Covalent bond is formed by sharing of 2 electrons between 2 or more atoms. Let us take an example of hydrogen molecule. For this, I have taken 2 hydrogen atoms who have 1 electron each. Remember, electrons in the outermost shell can move easily. By sharing of 2 electrons, covalent bond is formed. Bond means 2 electrons between 2 atoms. Ionic bond is formed by give and take of electrons between 2 or more atoms. Here, example of hydrogen fluoride molecule. We know hydrogen has 1 electron in the outermost shell. And fluorine has 7 electrons in the outermost shell. So hydrogen is going to lose its electron and fluorine is going to gain electron. So fluorine completes its octet and in return hydrogen is always in its close vicinity. Due to electrostatic force of attraction, hydrogen after losing electrons becomes H plus ions and fluorine after gaining electrons becomes F minus ions. So such type of bond formation is called ionic bond. That is it for today, guys. So I hope you all have understood all the concepts that I was trying to explain. Do comment, share and subscribe my channel. Thanks for watching.